last time on Lawful Stupid.
We got some backstory going on with Devin. We found out about Teresa.
Mama.
We played drinking games.
Was that the last?
It was not.
No.
It was not the last. That was episode
It was
prior.
the last session.
It was the last session.
But I think the big fucking ball that dropped was giving away the loot.
Oh, fucking! You're right.
You forgot.
Son of a bitch.
Salty. This episode brought to you by Salty Dog Shainsaw.
This episode brought to you by Fuck My Butt.
I think that's every episode, but okay.
We're gonna start this early
This
on.
episode brought to you by Butt Fucking Demons. God.
Yeah, and that's the recap, ladies and gentlemen. But fuck demons, the loot is gone.
And for all you 6-year-olds out there listening, enjoy this episode brought to you by...
Okay, Devin, I know now, thanks to some people that have told us, that there are children that listen to our show. I gave a shout out a number of episodes ago to one of those children, told her to eat her vegetables and say something nice to her mom. But also, like, I'm not gonna advocate directly to them. Like, they're here. That's their problem.
This episode is also explicit in iTunes and probably not safe for
Every
work.
episode is explicit, okay? But
Explicitly.
the last episode, I'm gonna help the listener out because, well, we need to. The last episode was more about gathering the troops and marching the coalition, which is what the boys are now calling the forces from Orenthal.
Coalition forces.
They marched them through the Ridge Scar Peaks and the Ridge Scar Valleyways and stuff like that to the Edge of Silence. So we're actually now in Silencian territory, and from that point we covered some month time jumps because it's been a month since the boys went to the Ridge Scar Towers. Atlas gave away the sword to Fendel.
Which he loved.
Which he absolutely loved.
That was so good.
And then Shane, I don't remember what Kristoff did.
I sent a letter and copper to my brother.
I remember that, but I don't remember what else you did within
And
month
then-
time.
I was with the scouting party because I wanted to make sure that I was the first face of the villagers of Silent Saw. And one time they got into a bad scuffle, and I went, and I saved them real good.
That's right. Okay, I
Wait,
remember.
what'd you do? What'd you say to him?
And I saved them real good. Ginge, make that dragon voice just sound so fucking good.
I don't think he can improve on it. Yeah, and then you guys turn down some additional help, and then you venture into further into Silencian territory for Rowan to ditch the loot like nobody's business. And that's where we ended last episode.
But I don't know that because I'm in character now.
You don't know that.
I'm officially in character, and I'm asleep. Honk shoe. Okay.
And so
Is this
Honk
the-
shoe.
Is this the
Honk
morning
shoe.
after?
we're about to get there.
Oh, shoot.
Let me help out. So Kristoff, you wake up. And
I'm Kristoff.
and you kind of get up and you sit on a log where across from where the fire would have been, which is now just smoldering embers, and across from you sits someone who looks very akin to you with like dark purple skin, and it kind of looks like an older version of you, except for he's wearing like this single ivory band over his head, and as you get a closer look, you know that to be your father, who is sitting across from you, across from the fire, or the embers of the coals, and he, as soon as you kind of get a good look and your eyes focus in, you hear him say, "What are you doing here?"
I could ask you the same thing. And I think Kristoff is just smiling. It's a weird thing whenever he sees Altrin, like in the visions and things that he's seen in the past. Like, there's a part of Kristoff's brain that knows, like, this is a dream or magic or something, but whatever.
Why have you returned home?
To help the people There's something stirring with the torrent and these doors and these fiends, and I have to stop it. I can't let them hurt anyone.
And you think that lies on your shoulders?
I'm capable. I can do it. And if I can do it, and I don't, well, that's my sin. So, if I can, I will. And if I can't, well, I won't have much to worry about.
And he takes off his crown and like sets it next to him and says, I'm not sure there's much left to teach you.
Well, you've taught me a lot. But I'm doing my own thing now. And I think I'm helping.
And he kind of like nods and smiles appropriately, and he says, I need you to remember that nothing gained without something lost, my boy.
I know.
And that your words may be silver, but silence can be golden.
I know that too.
And I think it's not long before you kind of stir and like wake in your sleeping bag or whatever you're sleeping in, realizing that like what you just experienced was a dream.
Yeah.
But now you're awake.
I am Kristoff. I am Kristoff.
Yeah. Don't break that. Okay. Yeah, it's true that every time he wakes up, it's I'm Kristoff Shindo, and every time he transforms, I'm a Jordan. He's got these catchphrases. Every time he baths, he has to say rubber ducky or whatever that one's going to be. Or don't worry, we'll get there. I'm sure you'll take a bath and then coin a catchphrase for Kristoff.
Ooh, in our Slice of Life fucking beach party episode?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just bubble time.
Yeah, the Hot Springs episode, we'll have one of those. What is that? The Sesame Street song? You can just adapt that. Rubber ducky, you're the one. Yeah, no, that one. Nailed it. Go home. New homework. You go watch Sesame Street as an adult man. I watched that as a kid. Get out of here. Anyways. Now that Shane's off the room. No. Bye. So you kind of wake up and you see Rowan awake. And Atlas, you can decide whether you kind of like stir awake during this moment or how much longer you get to sleep.
What time is this daylight?
It's early morning. Sun's rising.
To my recollection, Rowan's was just the first guard shift,
no,
and then I was second, and you had third.
No, he was middles. But like, I like to think that he never like woke up Atlas, delaying like the having to own it, and he doesn't need a long sleep. He has a trance, like.
That's true. He can just come. I
trade off my shift to Elton John.
Yeah, that's true. He did say that. He goes, "I go."
That's just a bonus roll to anybody. So Elton John gets to roll each time for like perception. But
I will wake up early. First thing.
Okay, so you wake up as the sun is rising, and bringing some warmth to these icy lands that you guys have camped in.
I look out at the sun and say, "Good morning, old friend." And then I will go out to, hopefully if it's cold, there's a fire that I would like to sit in front of. And who's there?
Oh, I guess I'm definitely...
Yeah, Rowan's...
Are you trancing right now?
No.
You're just not going to sleep. Oh, he woke up during your shift. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, he basically extended his shift, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Because he tranced during yours, or yeah, he's good. He's got his night rest.
Good morning, old friend. Anything eventful last night? Any old men coming to you to try to take your money or your food? Callbacks.
Kinda.
He says that every morning. Any old men come to you in your sleep?
Did that happen to you? Remember that one time it happened to me?
And never again.
Never.
Yeah, you mean 2.5 years ago, Alice? Yeah, tell me again how it went.
Me too.
Oddly enough, there was someone in a very familiar helmet. I'm sure you remember the Reclaimer that we fought.
I do. I tried to talk
awake?
you out of this.
Yeah, you're awake for this one.
Reclaimers? Where? Where are they?
They're not here.
Yeah, they're gone. They stopped by in the night.
Oh.
A different Reclaimer than last time. I gave them the loot. They went away.
Come again?
I'm sorry?
Oh yeah, they asked for the loot, so I just gave it to them.
We're free. We broke the curse. We're free.
Oh, you gave him like a decoy loot.
Oh no, like the loot of Win. Like it's fine. Like have it.
It'll come back, right? Like it's you're bound by Win. It doesn't matter if you gave that away. It's got to come back to you because you owe him things, right?
Exactly. I've got like the loot doesn't get its power from Win.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can have that hunk of wood. Who cares? And then I show them my fingertips that are fucking covered in green. Like, there's more connection here than you know.
Well, I've seen weirder things. That's not so bad, actually.
Yeah, it's not even like it's weird. I have to trim it, otherwise it looks really grotesque and dirty. It's there.
Does it hurt?
I don't think so.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it.
And I will fondle his hands for a
You
moment.
didn't have to be weird about it. They're okay.
Is it just like tree bark? Is that what you said?
It's
Or
like
is it just kinda
it's like
vines?
tree bark and like little sprigs coming out of his like fingernails and stuff like that, and his cuticles.
You have like flowers growing out of your hands.
Yeah, I know. It's because I'm dainty.
Is that a thing? Like if something's dainty, it's flowers grow out of it? You have a gun that shoots magic spells. I wouldn't consider you dainty.
To interject for a moment,
It's very unlike you, Kristoff, but go ahead.
thank you. That's your loot. I think it's an incredibly powerful artifact, and we should probably retain those if we have the ability, but that is yours to do with. If you could do me the professional courtesy, if at any point in the future there is a Reclaimer within a stone's throw of me, just let me know so that I can murder them for their transgressions upon me and yourself. At that time they almost killed us and delayed us from getting to Oxbane, potentially costing the lives of even more people.
It's very fair. I think I can do you that favor.
I would appreciate that.
I guess I didn't tell you in the 2 years that I had quite an ongoing relationship with that same Reclaimer.
You didn't, and I'm very interested to know
Do tell.
all of the sordid details.
Turns out it was my ex-girlfriend. She's been brainwashed, and the Reclaimers are just fucked up normal people.
I thought it was going to be a longer story. Is it not? Just a little bit more might be good.
Telling stories is my job. Informing you is my service.
Okay.
I mean, it's true. I wouldn't want to take advantage. I know that you kind of do this for a living. I pull out some gold coins. Maybe if you could expand a bit.
Okay, so the Reclaimer came back, and naturally I told them to go fuck themselves.
Good man.
And then it just kind of continued, and it became a lot more cavalier and personal as time went on. We became, I would say friends, until eventually she removed the helmet, and I saw that it was an ex of mine, but she didn't remember me and went by a different name. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, now, when you say an ex, you mean an ex-lover,
Yes.
and that ex-lover was a woman.
Yes, this one.
And were you serious?
I mean, at the time, yes.
I
And then I was seriously out.
I see. Well,
Did you love her?
No.
Could you learn to love her?
I could learn to love a lot of things. I learned to love spinach.
Alice's morning breath.
Yes. It's just, it becomes charming after a while. Because, with that breath comes the hard biscuits and kind of a safety with it.
It's like puppy breath. Like, it's not pleasing on its own, but the love. Anyway, so how did you feel about that? That's, I guess, my next question.
Confused?
Mm-hmm.
Humored. Quite funny.
Does she?
Oh, not at all.
Feeling?
Not. Oh, yes, she definitely has feeling. Have you met me? Like, it's not hard to do that, but.
Well, 2 for 2, I should say.
I know. I wooed her in 2 of her fucking personality slides. That's
pretty good. Where is she now? Is she?
Oh, she might be dead.
I would say
Yeah, she said she couldn't kill me and take the loot, so that she was in trouble and that there would be another reclaimer on duty. So I'm assuming they killed her. It's not.
But maybe now that you gave her the loot, she'll be safe. Wait. Now that you gave her the loot.
Oh no, it was not her. It was definitely a different reclaimer. She's either already dead or already reprimanded. And that's why I gave them the loot.
But if she's already dead, why did you give them the loot?
Because the loot doesn't matter.
That's true. I didn't care about the loot anyway. I was confused. I'm with you on this one, Roland.
Yeah, see? It'll be fine.
Okay. What does this mean between you and Wynn is the next question.
That's a good question. And I
That's a
didn't
good
think that through. We'll have to see.
I'm back on Kristoff's side now. I think it might have been a bad idea.
You should be on Kristoff's side. That's the smart side to be on.
All right. Well, I guess for now, we'll just keep traveling.
Yeah, we just keep moving. We'll be fine.
We have a thing to do, and I guess we'll deal with the repercussions of that when they present themselves.
Oh, if I know me, there won't be repercussions except the worst.
Bully.
Eggs, anyone?
Please.
I'm gonna go out to the woods and find some eggs.
I was not expecting anyone to take me up on this offer.
Dang it.
I think when because that's too charming of a moment not to actually crush your tomfoolery. I think when you say eggs anyone and they say please, that's kind of where that scene ends, right? Because that's in my mind a beautiful comic panel start when you're listening. Wink. I think you guys pack up camp and get everything you need. And Kristoff, especially now you're in your homeland, I think you take more care of everything. So you make sure to clean up the campsite maybe a little more carefully than you would have. Not to say that you ever leave nasty campsites, but you try to avoid leaving a lot of trails either.
I would actually have to interject for a moment and say that it is much more likely that we are doing the bare minimal disturbance in the first place. So yes, we are covering our tracks. Yes, we are cleaning up. Yes, we probably wouldn't have had a fire last night because we don't want to alert these fiends that are roaming the countryside to our presence. So we're probably.
So if you didn't have a fire, we gotta address some things because it's super cold for those two.
You dig a pit and put the fire in down.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And you Jeremiah Johnson it.
That's fine. I'm just saying, you guys them two needs a fire. You're adjusted at this temperature, but they're gonna need some heat.
With Oakton John?
Well, I mean, they'd have bedrolls. They're not sleeping in the attic.
I stand by what I'm saying. It's okay. Silence is supernaturally cold, right? Because if you think about it, the rest of the continent that you've experienced is medium temperate, right? It's cool or whatever.
See, I never caught that adjustment in temperature.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only spot on Whisperwool of the two continents that is covered in ice.
Because I'd mentioned it before, is it super cold? And you're like, no, it's moderate because we weren't in silence yet. I never caught that. It's silence.
When you guys marched in, it just became ice and snow, and it's cold. And the closer you get to home, it's cold. For you, not so much. Between Tiefling blood, Infernal, and you're used to it, right? For them, it's cold.
Yeah, it's like a 30+ degrees drop.
So it would probably be a small fire, and we would probably. Like Alice said, we would dig a hole for the fire to absolutely make sure that it wasn't super visible from a distance. The other option is like I think you were Jeremiah Johnsoning it, where you would dig a hole, you would start a fire, and then you would sleep up over top of the coals with dirt laid down. But that would be kind of we just to specify, we would be traveling as incognito as possible, and yes, covering our traffic completely because we don't want to leave a recognizable trail.
Yeah, absolutely.
We probably need to do like some sort of survival or nature roll check on that to like see how well we cover our checks. I would imagine.
No, I'm not gonna make you for this one because you're so far out from your travelings. But you guys are going to push forward, correct? Deeper into silence, heading towards the center, right? Which I'm blanking on the Silencian capital.
So it is just the capital city of Silence. It is just Silence is the seat of power. So there's not like a specific name to that city. I thought
you had a castle name, but that's fine.
There was Castle Capel.
Yeah, I know Castle Capel, but I'll wait until the next kind of when you guys are doing your thing. I'll look at my notes.
Okay.
So you guys are pushing forward deeper into the center of Silence, and it's cold, and it's got like this low wind that seems to like slice right through Atlas and Rowan as you guys are traveling. Like you guys are bundling up. Atlas, I don't know what you're bundling up with. Maybe your bedroll because you are now.
I'll give him extra clothes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
they're a little small, but
I knew I should have kept my clothes and not give them to that girl in a different time zone.
Time zone.
I got you covered. Well, kind of covered.
I think probably if we're not riding on Chauncey/Comet, we're using him to block the wind.
Yeah.
I can use Oak and John to block the wind.
Well, both. Maybe you're
a teamwork.
Yeah. So you guys are making your way deeper into Silence, and Kristoff, you would notice the familiar like Decimus of Hosston Tundra, which is as you know, just like this flat land of like ice and snow. And you know that there is a village in the center of this tundra where like people like where there's like hot springs and you can go and rest before you have to.
We're doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it literally was in my notes. I shit you not.
Okay.
Where you guys would go and like you could rest to make the rest of the journey across the tundra.
Sorry, I had to find in my notes what Kristoff's dick looks like. Hold on a second.
Just says acid.
Hey, did you say something about Hosston?
Just says very
Hosston
red.
Tundra? That's the name of the tundra.
Is it stone cold there?
Stone Cold Steve Hosston.
Yeah. So you guys
Thanks for nothing, guys.
maybe no, he gave you your credit. I just won't. I won't allow it.
You know what? Take inspiration for that joke.
Take inspiration. Me and Alex are giving you player. In fact, I have inspiration. Can I give him my inspiration?
No, you can't. I won't allow it. Not for that. Get a better joke. I like the one I laughed hysterically at just like 2 minutes ago and couldn't control myself. So you guys are heading towards that direction, and you know that there's a village in the center of this tundra, but it is cold and it's.
What's the name of the village?
No, what?
What's the name of the village?
We'll get there. We'll get to that when we get there. You remember the tundra, no problem.
I just don't know what the name of the village is.
Not right now. We'll get there.
Okay.
So you guys are marching that, and it's a long march, and it feels even worse and more stretched out because of the cold and because of the environment that you're in. And you're gonna have 2 more overnight stays. Is there anything specifically you guys want to do for those overnight stays? Those camp situations. Now's a good time if you want to like chit chat with your boyos, or if there's any other like plot points you want to like deal with. I think campfires are easy ways to do that.
Something that I've been wanting to do for a while, that you may or may not allow me to do.
Okay.
Is dabble in alchemy.
Okay.
And all I'm trying to do is I want to
Turn dirt to gold.
I want to turn dirt into gold. No, all I want to do is I want to add some typical Silencian herbs to my mulled wine to create kind of like this spicy fire wine that like the Silencian guards probably introduced me to. They would be like, no, it's not Fireball whiskey. It's got Tiefling on the front. Yeah, it's Fireball whiskey. I would like to create that to try to like warm my compatriots up because I can see their suffering.
Yeah. Do you have?
I don't think I've ever made it before.
Do you have alchemist tools by any chance?
No, but that's what I said. I would have to gather from the local environment if it was available. I don't have like an herb pouch on hand.
Yeah. Why don't you do? We'll say survival. A survival check to see if you can find their herbs around.
It's not terrible. 14?
Okay, that is not terrible. Yeah, so you are you're like foraging around, I think, as they're like setting up camp, and you find a few of the herbs you need, but you're missing like one of them, but you still think you can probably give this a shot, and so I think you would need some of your alcohol in replacement of that, and because you couldn't just like use tea and water because you don't have all your ingredients.
Yeah.
At that point, I think, why don't you roll me just a flat d20? Because you don't have like any tools that you're proficient with.
So it would typically be just so you know, it would be an intelligence check plus my proficiency if I was proficient in alchemist tools. If I'm not proficient in alchemist tools, it should just be a d20 plus int, I think.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. I think that's yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that's like good enough. I mean, I'll look at I'll look it up later for my own knowledge. But I thought it was just a d20 plus proficiency.
My int isn't great. I think it's d20 plus base skill plus proficiency if you're proficient with that toolkit. Like for blacksmithing, it's actually strength plus your proficiency if you're proficient in blacksmith tools, and for tinkerer's tools, it's intelligence.
Yeah, you're right. I looked it up really quickly actually and found I mean, it's
I rolled an 18.
Yeah, it's based off of whatever like skill set the DM chooses. So if I chose like athletics or acrobatics, so like in theory I could use the variety check to make you do survival if I wanted to for some fucking weird reason. Sure. But yeah, so you rolled an 18. Yeah, I think you make a 4.
18 natural. If I'm adding my int, it's
int.
21.
Since when do you? Oh, yeah, right.
Yes. So wait, since when do you? Oh fuck!
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm a dragon.
So yeah, with the 21, it's better. So you taste it. It doesn't taste like anything like you remember, but you know that it will certainly ease their suffering. It doesn't change the physical effects of like the cold weather, but they won't feel it. You know what I mean? So like if they get in 0-degree weather, it's still going to hurt their physical body.
This isn't going to give them magical resistance to the elements, but it will make them feel more comfortable.
Yeah, basically it's like a numbing agent for the cold.
Yeah, I think that I was working with that at the buried campfire while they were kind of finishing setting up camp, and I go, I drink it and I go, yes, I think I've done it. Would you like this? This should help take some of the bite out of the cold. I do not hand the entire thing to Rowan because I know that then Atlas won't get any. So I. Oh. Okay, well I hand it to Rowan.
Big. Oh, that's one. Atlas, try this.
Oh please. Cluck, 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 cluck.
Oh my god, not all of it.
Oh, here we go. Let's give a little bit back.
Drink the black wash.
Yeah, so
is this instantaneous?
No, I say that it takes some time to take effect, like 20-30 minutes. But here's my thing: as long as you guys are drinking on that, every like camp session, I'll say it like keeps you warm. It's also gonna like apply like a -2 to your Constitution rolls. Like not disadvantage or anything super crazy, but -2. It's alcohol that you're keeping in your system to keep you warm.
Can mine be a -1 because I'm so used to it?
No.
Fair. Ah.
No. It's a whole different bag of tricks. Yeah.
Tolerance.
Yeah. And I like to think that I would normally give that, but let's not be unrealistic. You're going to be drinking in addition to this. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like you're having this and stopping.
It's kind of adding on.
No,
yeah.
it's just adding on. Okay, like maybe if you decided to drink nothing else.
Yeah, it's actually just mixing. That's what's messing you up. Is you're mixing.
Yeah,
with
you're
your
mixing.
usual brew.
Yep.
Oh no.
With your usual spot of ginger ale.
Your lights and your darks.
Yep. Yeah. So you guys have to stay 2 nights in your travelings towards this town, and when you start to see the town in the distance, it the way that vision tends to work for like mortals, it just kind of starts like appearing, you know, because it's a flat land, and like your horizon, like the way vision works is you can only see so far before like an object kind of just like appears. You know what I mean? It's the limitation of mortal vision. Now, granted, D&D, and I don't know what the fucking biometric makeup of a tiefling eyeball is, but we'll just assume you know you can only see the same like distance that a human eye can be. But you start seeing it, and Kristoff, why don't you do a history check to see if you can like summon some information about this town?
Yeah, I super can. 26.
Yeah. So it's important to note that you do remember some information about this town. You remember that the town name is Horunia, and that it's a village that's often known to be covered in snow and ice, more so than most others, being in the heart of the Hosston Tundra. It's also known for its hot springs and being like a huge tourist destination for people who travel through Silence, the Kingdom of Silence. They either come through this way, or which would be the southeast, or they would go northwest to actually visit Silence. Not a lot come through the northeast, which is actually Silencian territory, just because the environment's more harsh that direction. So you would know that. You would also feel like this twingle in your like the back of your skull.
A little twinkle.
Say twinkle.
I did.
It's a tingle.
No,
it's a tingle twinkle.
It's tinkle twinkle.
Twinkle.
It's like this weird feeling in the back of your neck. It's almost like chills, but at the same time it hurts a little bit, and you can feel that like travel down like your spine, and I think towards your left arm. I'll specifically use that because it's a stroke arm, maybe. But you feel this like feeling travel towards the book.
I open it.
So this book has been blank, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first page is filled out.
What does it say?
It's your first memory.
What does it say?
Whatever Kristoff's first memory is. His literal first memory.
Good.
Pooping
Not
his
good.
pants in second grade.
Leave
It's
there.
not, it's not good.
Right. It's
really not.
I mean, you can share if you want.
It's Zelia Shindo, Kristoff's mother, and she's arguing with the nurse, the wet nurse that kind of raised Kristoff in a little bit of a way, and she's just basically saying like horrible things about Kristoff and Altrian by extension, and offering her money to neglect me and presumably allow Kristoff to perish by extension.
Oof, that is a rough memory.
Cool.
So,
Great.
So you also should realize that, like, after like reading that, like, you kind of like it feels familiar, but like when you close the book and put it away, it's gone. Like you don't remember it. So like you could open up the book and reread it, but as soon as you close the book, put it away, it's gone.
Well, I will speak to the boys. Well, gentlemen, we are very much nearing a bit of respite. Perunia lies ahead. It is a tourist town, famous for its hot springs and always icy weather.
Hot? Did you say hot? Something hot?
Hot springs, yes. There's very...
We need that right now.
I've never actually been to them myself. Palace used to go pretty often, but I was never allowed to go because you have to obviously not wear clothes in the hot spring, and I couldn't let my
I'll
scales.
strip down right now. I don't give a shit.
We probably shouldn't do it right now because it's very cold right now. We're not currently in the hot springs, but
And once we get there,
yes, of course, it'll be nice to visit. But yes, we should make rest there. We should restock on our supplies, ensure that townspeople are safe there, and of course enjoy the hot springs.
Oh, even townspeople. What's there to be afraid of here? There's nothing to. Seems like a place nobody would really want to live.
Well, actually, Atlas, there are these doors that exist to another dimension in which fiends erupt from.
Have not heard of them.
Yeah, they've been plaguing this. Yeah, they've been plaguing this land.
start.
Yeah, the entire time we've been moving stealthily through the countryside, ensuring we covered our tracks and ensuring that no one, saw our campfire, so that we weren't spotted by these roaming bands of fiends. We specifically didn't take an army with us because we wanted to be more stealthy and able to avoid detection. That's what we were avoiding. So.
Makes sense.
Yeah, no, I thought you knew that, but yes. So that should be our next place to go.
Perfect.
So you guys travel the last leg of the tundra, and it's cold. Like, it almost seems to get colder the closer you get to this town. And Kristoff, while you've never been here, it looks like the stories you were told as a kid.
I want to clarify. I have been to this town before. I've never been to the hot springs.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was never allowed to go to the hot springs because I would have had to show my scales to get into the hot
Gotcha.
springs.
Okay. So while it's been a long time since you've been to this town, it's exactly how you remember it. Ice covered everywhere. And in the center of this town is the largest of buildings. And while the roof is covered in ice, it is red in nature. And you would know that the name of this red roof is called the Frozen Chestnut.
Appropriate.
And first non-animal.
Yeah, and you would know that, like, it's built around the hot spring. So, like, in the center, there's, like, this courtyard, and that is the, like, tiered hot springs, though you've never actually enjoyed them yourselves, but you know that it's kind of like walls around it. Like, the building is built around the hot springs. Think of, like, a nice, big, fancy hotel, except for not nearly as, like, large.
I didn't get why you call it the Frozen Chestnut until I realized it's the two different levels of Patreon donorship. If you donate X amount of dollars, you get to see chest, and if you donate X amount of dollars, you get to see
Frozen. The movie. We're going to air it on Discord and rate it.
Yeah, because we're going to the hot spring scenes. Get it? Because testicles.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna have this.
So I'm a little melancholy now as Shainsaw. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have this weird like jump where we like go into this town, and then the next episode, like live on air, is just gonna be like them. And so you leave, and it's like, wait, hold on a minute. And if you want what happened at the town, that's the Patreon. Ridiculous Patreon tier.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
The nut tier.
The nut tier, yeah. So yeah, you walk into Turunia, and it is a cobblestone village, very much so. Things are made of cobblestone and mortar and like these nice roofs. Like you can tell that this village has money, or had money, or at the very least, like their infrastructure is well built, despite everything pretty much being covered in ice. The roads are cobblestone. All the doors and the walkways are built with purpose and grandeur. The lamps that you guys see, because as you come in, it's starting to get darker, because it gets darker a little bit earlier in Silence, even though that doesn't really add up for its geography. The lamps are arcane in nature. They're magically powered. It's the only way they consistently work.
Point of order, are these the same arcane lamps that the Architect Guild is known for making?
They're not. They're a little different. It's the same core competencies, but it's got a Silencian twist on it. It's something that the Silencians came up with, independent of that. So they work mechanically the same, but the design is different. Or they achieve the same result. How about that? It's two different engines.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, you come into this town and you notice that it's less lively than it has been in your previous visits. There don't appear to be as many people in the streets. There don't appear to be as many people drunkenly stumbling through the streets as they have known to do on vacations or in visits. So what do you want to do with this town?
Hotel room immediately. We need to go in.
Are there any people in the street at all?
Absolutely there are. Yeah, it's just barren compared to what for you it's normally a celebration. It's kind of like going to I'm going to use downtown Nashville. No, not Mardi Gras level where the streets are full. I'm going to say Nashville, which is my hometown, where the sidewalks are always packed. Where there's a lot of people on the weekends here in Nashville, a lot of people.
Bars playing.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people, right? Because people are out doing things, and it's to compare that the village is just not nearly as many. It's almost like a work day where it's there's plenty of people on the street, but it's clearly there's not enough people enjoying things, you know.
Do I see any merchants on the street, booths or?
I mean, there's definitely shops, but you don't see any established booths, which is also weird because when there's tons of tourism, people just do these booth setups because it's easy to establish and get sales.
I'm gonna approach the first well-to-do person that I see on the street as we're making our way towards the end. But if I see any well-to-do looking folk on the way, I'll stop them and engage in conversation.
Yeah, I think you do. As you're about halfway to the end, because I think well-to-do, at least in my mind, is wealthier. Business person? Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm looking for not necessarily a merchant, but class or higher.
Yeah. Somebody who's owns the business, doesn't run the business, right?
Right.
So yeah, I think you run into someone who's clad in these nice furs, and he's got a warm hat on, where his even his hooves are covered, it was designed specifically his horns. Excuse me. His horns are covered. I made the horns notion, which is why he picked it up.
Furry, hoof-headed tieflings.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about you fucking mongrels. So yeah, even the horns are covered. So you know that this was specifically made for this person.
Special tailored.
Yeah.
Excuse me, master. Excuse me for a moment of your time.
And so he looks at you and says, yes. And you see him kind of double take at you. Yes. Sorry.
It's been so long since I've been here. It's quiet. Is there something amiss?
How long have you been gone?
About 3 years.
Oh, that's a long time. It's a shame. But we haven't had the same level of tourism that we used to since the war went up.
The wall?
The tourists, you know.
Yes, the war. The barrier.
I just came into silence, and I didn't notice any sort of wall.
No, it's the barrier between what were inner silence and outer silence.
I'm sorry. By whose order was this wall erected?
I can only assume the kings.
The kings, plural. The king's order. I understand. King possessive, not plural. And when was this?
About the same time when those monsters started showing.
How do the people on this side of the barrier fare?
He kind of looks around. We've been better.
Have there been any attacks plaguing this particular town?
No, not us, but I assume that has a lot to do with being in the center of a tundra. You know.
Yes, the outskirt towns probably wouldn't fare quite as well.
No natural defenses, as it were.
Understood. What is it that you do about town?
Well, I'm a local proprietor. I own a few of the businesses, which not doing as well as I once was.
What kind of businesses? I'd love to patron you if I could.
Oh, well, you're welcome. I own a tavern and a couple of tailor shops, and he pats on his his hat. I guess it's good.
Yes. And where is that tavern shop?
Where the tavern shop?
I'm sorry, the tavern shop. The carpenter shop. Not carpenter. What's the word for that you just said? I'm drunk.
A tailor?
Tailor.
I felt bad for saying horns on the or hooves on the head and twingle.
Yeah, hooves on my head, but don't call me a hoof head.
Swingle the hoof.
Can I go to the tavern shop and then the carpenter's place for a hat, please?
Could you point me in the direction of the toilet store?
Who's been drinking here? Jesus
Wayne,
Christ.
can I buy my friends warm clothes, please?
I swear to God.
Can I buy my friends some warm
What's on
clothes
the
so they're
wall?
comfortable? I just want them to
What's on the
know
wall?
that this is my home and I want them to be comfortable in it. Can you please point me to where I can get some warm clothes for my friends, please?
Yeah, so he motions toward a shop that's just a little.
Kristoff has a +5 to charisma. He's not like this.
It's a little in the distance. He points at a tailor shop, and you can kind of see a thread needle on the sign.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And if there's anything I can do to assist you in any way, please don't hesitate to call upon me.
Sure.
I don't think he knows who you are to call upon you.
I assume this would be the point in which he asked Atlas.
Oh, now he knows who I am. Thanks for telling him that.
I mean Reggie. My cousin Reggie.
He kind of looks at you guys and says, well, it's been a pleasure, but if that would be all.
Of course. And then I had you gentlemen go Atlas Rowan. I mean Reggie Rowan. Please head to the tavern. Get drinks. We're going to need those. Get those hot springs warming up for me, and I will meet you there.
What about the clothes that you just talked about? When we're doing that, I would love some right now.
I'm gonna go get them for you, and you'll meet me there, and I'll have presents for you, and they'll be wrapped.
You
nice.
don't know my size.
I'm
taking my
big.
measurements.
It's big.
Do
Fair
you
enough.
have an orc section?
I can literally I wave my hand and I conjure an illusion of that. I can make you out of nothing. Or I bip my mask and I'm Atlas now. I can. It's fine.
Can you bip some clothes on me then? This entire time you've had the ability to bib clothes onto us, and you haven't done it.
Atlas, it's an illusion. They're not real.
Like I flex my big orcish muscles, and I go, see here, touch them.
And I go to touch them.
And you feel spindly tiefling arm. Wiry. Like tough, but not big. Solid. Built like a mortar outhouse. Not a brick shit house, but like solid mortar outhouse.
It's my favorite interact.
Yeah, so I think you guys do that. You guys, the two boys go to the tavern and I assume get some rooms and some drinks. You go purchase clothing from this.
I would like to explore this.
Okay, anyway. Then if that's the case, we will explore that next episode because we're gonna.
Okay, that's fine. I want to talk to the fashionistas.
That's fine.
I want to be. I want to walk in as Atlas because I'm Atlas right now. I want to model. I want to style.
So that's where we'll end the episode. Then, can I just paint the picture? Then you can do your bullshit.
Just paint your fucking picture.
Jesus.
Just go.
Paint the picture.
I'm drinking. Paint
it.
He drinks the whole time I paint. No, keep going.
Do it, Bob Ross. Do your thing.
A friendly little drunkard over here.
So, you guys, it's like this.
He'll do it. Atlas, please don't. Alex, please don't.
It's like this water painting of the boys heading towards the tavern and Atlas, a la Kristoff, heading towards the tailor shop in the buff, essentially, because he is wearing a fucking thong.
I'm always buff.
Yeah. And that's kind of where we'll end that episode with all the ice and snow in the middle of this town. Go ahead.
I just love that it's a watercolor picture. Like it's so precise that I just like.
Yeah, I like it to be painted. Like that's how I imagine every episode ends when I paint these ending. Is it's like in brushstroke, and I just felt watercolor was more appropriate this time.
Yeah, I like watercolor.
Me too.
Well, I have some news, everybody. Hold on a second. My executive producer's communicating to me. It's mother frickin' MinMaxMankind! This episode airs in May!
Already? Oh my god.
It is May, and that means we are participating actively in MinMaxMankind. If you go to our socials, at StupidLawful on Twitter, or at Lawful Stupid on Instagram, or Lawful Stupid on Facebook, you're seeing us post some insane stuff about MinMaxMankind, our second annual venture in May. Challenges have already been issued. If you're listening to this, I implore you, I beg you, please reach into the bottom of your heart and pull out a D20, and it's throbbing and it's shining, and you roll it on the ground and it explodes into dollars based on the amount that is rolled on the die. Please give that money to Child's Play charity. We championed them last year in the distant year of 2018. We championed them again in 2019. 2019, my friends. Child's Play charity will get the money that we roll. They will be our championed cause for May. You choose your own if you don't agree with Child's Play, but how could you not? So please roll that, and then when you're done, don't stop there. That is where quitters stop. I want you to choose your favorite, other than us, tabletop RPG podcast, or just another group, or someone in your life that loves this game that we call Dungeons and Motherfucking Dragons, and I want you to challenge them to do the same thing, to roll a d20, watch it explode into dollars and or coins, and donate that to the cause that they find worthy. And I want to further say that because this has been MinMaxMankind, because it is that time of year, Roll for Humanity will, of course, go to Child's Play charity, but I'm taking advantage on all these rolls because I don't give a flying frog. I'm trying to curse less because I'm for the kids.
You got me. I thought for sure you were headed right for the F train.
I give you bardic inspiration on all of your rolls.
Ooh, Alex, I fucking love it when you do that. Let's go. I said a swear word. I'm sorry.
You ruined it. You ruined a great streak for 2 seconds.
We are. You know what? Child's Play does such good work for everyone involved. How can we not? How can we not?
My best friends in this world, the people that, outside of my wife and my dog, that I love the most in this entire world, are Dwayne the Main Man Peden, Alex Gratuitous Gorgoring, and Devin Thunder.
I changed my nickname.
What is it now?
We Don't Stop.
Alex, we don't stop goring. And I love them the most. They are my bestest friends in this whole world. And they live, the nearest one to me is approximately 1,200 miles. And I'm able to keep up with them and spend at least a few hours a week playing this dumb game over the internet, because that's what we do. We play a dumb game over the internet. What Child's Play Charity does is they offer games, and they offer support, and they offer equipment, consoles, laptops for stuff like this, for the kids that are hospitalized chronically and cannot get out to see their friends and their loved ones. If I didn't have a means to communicate with these guys, I don't know what I would do. I don't know. It would break me as a person.
I would just move to California.
Well, there
I would
we go.
just
That's
move
the
you to
solution.
Tennessee.
Not a solution for everyone, and so Child's Play steps in and offers a solution in which they let these kids interact with their peers and their family and their friends through playing a dumb game on the internet. And I know what the value of that is, and I'm not going to let it go. So, Alex, remind me, you haven't used it ever because you're a terrible bard. What is your bardic inspiration? Is it a D10 or a D12 at this point?
D12.
This is a terrible bard.
It's a 1d8.
It's a D8. Okay, good. Oh, because you have warlock levels. That's correct. Okay. So let's grab that D8. Let's grab my two D20s. Natural 20! I don't make it up. I don't want to give money away, but it's a natural 20 plus a 7 from Bardic Inspiration. That is $27 to the Child's Play Charity for our first roll. Coming out strong with the natural 20. $27 to Child's Play Charity. Please, I beg you, if you've gotten a modicum of enjoyment from this show, if we've given you one titter, one laugh, one sharp exhale through your nose in this show, please.
Oh, there's a bug.
If you've done that one time, please grab your nearest D20, your luckiest D20, roll it, and just give the amount rolled one time to Child's Play Charity. If you're a patron of ours, and you're currently listening to this and you're saying, oh, I'd love to support Child's Play Charity, I would love to do this, let me know. I will refund your patron dollars for the month, and I would implore you to instead roll for humanity. I would implore you instead to MinMaxMankind and do great things.
Preach.
Please do this. Please challenge someone else, because when you do a little bit of good, it's like throwing a stone in a pond and it creates a ripple, but more ripples can come from that if you just take up the mantle. I beg you. I beg you, as a man who does not beg, a very proud man, please do this thing. It is MinMaxMankind, and I am beyond excited. More information to come, honestly, later, because when we're recording this, it's still March. More information to come on giveaways, on some great things. We've already got a list of people that are going to give some stuff away. We've already got a list of people that are going to be on the challenge list rotation, and we look forward to speaking to all of them. I don't have any more words to say. I've said too many. Thank you, Godspeed, and good night.
Bye!
Say good night.
Bye.
See ya.
Yeah, you are great. It makes me happy.